She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
I wrote down some things that I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, I want to ask you what you did this morning. You know, the last 2 days we talked a lot about diligence, self-control, and self-discipline. We talked a lot about that. Would you say for the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, we talked a lot about diligence, self-control, and self-discipline, right? Okay, so as your coach, I want to know what you did this morning. How many of you worked out this morning? Okay, I did too. Okay, who worked out? Okay. Now, would you think I'd have a great excuse not to work out? Mm-hmm. But today's Monday, it's a workout day, and it was uppers. Unfortunately, with resistance bands, because I don't have my dumbbells with me, because my gym is in my bedroom with, you should see under my bed, it's dumbbells. And now I've run out of weight, meaning I have to go higher, because now I'm at a 30-pound dumbbell, and the 30 pounds are hard right now, but they're not going to be hard 2 weeks from now. So anyway, so I have to. Does anyone want the 10-pounders? No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna still need those. My biceps are super weak. Anyway, so we talked a lot about diligence. Now here's what's interesting: diligence, self-control, and self-discipline. Now most of us were going to wait till we got home. Don't wait till you get home. Find out what 98% of the population is doing and do the opposite. Now, not everyone in here made the decision that they were going to get fit. Okay, this is not a fitness seminar. But how many of you did make the decision that you're at least going to put an effort into thinking about treating your body better, loving your body better, getting stronger? We lose 45% of all of our muscle by the time we are 60 years old. That's scary. That's really scary. That means we're going to get weaker and weaker and weaker as years go by. That sucks, okay? And you can combat that. You saw the pictures. All right, so if you made the decision, I'm going to see your hands. You made the decision, I'm gonna put a focus on my self-discipline. Then that means it starts today. It starts today. So I found Tom Venuta's book, On Vacation. I dropped 4% body fat on vacation. My husband and I, part of our vacation was a 16-day wine cruise. Wine, cheese, bread. Lots of fresh bread every day. Now, did we eat bread? Yeah, we ate the whole grain part of the bread. I ignored the other bread, but yes. But my husband and I both lost weight on a vacation. Why? Because it hit my head. I'm looking out around going, okay, I know what we normally do. 98% of the population do the exact opposite. So I'm challenging you right now. 98% waits till Monday or waits till after the event before they're going to start getting started. No, you want to learn to activate your decision now, not later. Because the decision is fresh and the passion for it is fresh in the moment you make the decision. If you do not take action while it's fresh, the passion, the desire, each day gets less and less. So that's why it's important to activate immediately. Another question, how many of you made the decision that you are going to be healthier with the food choices that you're making? I want to know who started this morning. Awesome job. That's awesome. And by the way, as far as fitness goes, you can start with walking. Oh, but I needed sleep. You'd be amazed how just walking energizes you, wakes up your brain. But Dani, I'm sick. Listen, my household is sick. My daughter, my son-in-law, and one of my grandchildren were sick in the house, okay? And it happened to be Yom Kippur, which meant I had no water, no food, no vitamins, no nothing for 25 hours. I wake up with this thing in my throat on Yom Kippur. I'm like, okay, this is not good timing. But I didn't touch it, didn't do anything. I kept to my commitment of praying for all y'all and myself that day. So Thursday, I start working out. And guess what left? The thing in my throat. I said this to Mona last night. It's the strangest thing. I worked legs, and I did some cardio, and all of a sudden, my throat was not hurting anymore. She goes, oh, because that's oxygen. Healing is in the blood. The blood pumping creates oxygen, and oxygen is what heals your body. Like, oh. Now, I know that for next time. The next time I would try to use my throat hurts, my glands are swollen as an excuse not to do something. But instead, do it, push through it, and what I got out of it was the throat went away. Do you understand? So don't reach for the excuse not to. You want to reach for the reason to, not the excuse not to. So what other decisions did you make? Some of you made some financial decisions over the weekend. You know, how many of you made decisions that you are not going to spend foolishly anymore? Okay? So what purchase did you make for breakfast? Someone said, I didn't buy breakfast, I bought Dynasty instead. Okay. Water, not Gatorade. That was smart. Water instead of Gatorade was smart. How many of you made the commitment, like, all right, I'm going to search out my habits and I'm going to start dwindling those suckers off. They're not healthy for me. How many of you did that? How many of you did not get coffee this morning? Nice. Do you see what I mean? You are activating. Do you know what I mean? And by the way, it's in the little things. Remember, it's in the little things. If you can be diligent with the little things, the big things are natural. The big things come natural. So it's in the little tiny things, everything else works itself out, okay? All right, well, good job. Now, that is a very important thing, because if you don't activate now, you're not going to activate on Wednesday when you get settled and unpacked. So that's why we have to force ourselves to do it and to do it now, okay? How many of you made a commitment to improve your spiritual life and to spiritually feed yourselves, to feed your faith? Do you know that I would say that 99% of your success comes from faith? It really does. It's what you believe in, because what you believe in controls your actions. What you believe in controls your mouth. So a lot of people are spiritually dry, therefore they have no faith. And faith has nothing to do with the Bible. Faith is believing in something. It's believing in something. I choose to believe in the Bible and the God who wrote it, because nothing is impossible for him, and he's got a really good track record. And I believe everything that is written in there. Absolutely everything that is in there. I believe it, and I believe it is for me, and I believe it is for our clients, our family. I believe it's for my future generations. I absolutely believe 100% of it. So this completely empowers me, that no matter what I'm facing, I am empowered. This is why I would tell you that my spiritual life has been the biggest focus of my life for 25 years. And it absolutely has carried me through every problem I've ever faced, and it has helped me to succeed. My spiritual life is a thing I have built upon more than business, more than money, more than anything. Why? Because it's the foundation and the roots that lead to everything. So it has everything to do with how I think and what my past is. So if you're not feeding yourself spiritually, you're going to have a really, really, really hard time reaching the level of success that you want to reach. When you feed yourself spiritually, it's like a double whammy for what you're doing, because it deals with doubt. It kicks doubt out. It kicks fear out. By the way, here's something that I woke up with. Diligence kills fear. It's absolutely 100% true. Diligence kills fear. Diligence kills fear. Diligence kills fear. Diligence kills fear. The places you're fearful is where you're lacking diligence. And fear will bleed into the other confident areas of your life. This is where I had somebody wrote a question. I get this question often. It's like, gosh, Dani, how do I just get back to the way I used to be? Why would you ever want to go backwards? Why would you ever want to go backwards? Well, back then I had more confidence. Back then I was on top of it. Back then I had this, and that. No, dude. That's called nostalgia. And nostalgia is a liar. Nostalgia is a liar. We are never to go backwards. You are never to try to get back to where you were. That's over. That's done. That's like a college student saying, can I go back to the 8th grade? You cannot go back to the 8th grade. That is over and that is done, which now brings me to this. Again, diligence kills fear. It brings me to this. Carmen mentioned this last night. It's from a training that she was in that I did. Does anyone have any, I wanted to bring my phone down here and I totally forgot. Does anyone know, okay, I'm a female, therefore I am directionally challenged. I know which way is up and I know which way is down, but I cannot tell you where east and west and north and south is. Okay, I have no idea. So can someone help me right now and tell me where north and south is? North is this way. Why is it a guy?
Yeah.
It's always a guy. North and south. Well, that's so funny because that's usually how I teach it. So that's really perfect. I usually go north and south. So this is good. Thank you. I know my hotel room is facing east, which was awesome because I always check. But I have my phone. I want to know where Israel is.
Nice.
There it is. Yes, okay, yeah. Okay, so that means if this is north, what's that? That's west, and this is east. Hi, Israel. Okay, so, okay. We're going to do it this way. Can you see west right now? Can you see what is behind you right now? Can you see who is behind you right now? Do you know what the person looks like that is behind you right now? Do you know what color shirt they're wearing? Do you know how many rows are behind you? Do you know what it looks like behind you? No. But do you know what's in front of you? Can you see the head that's in front of you? Can you see the face that's in front of you? Yeah. Can you see the stage? Can you see the backdrop? Can you see the products, the flowers? Stand up. Don't say a word. Turn around. All the way. It's an about face. What do you see? You can see the person that was what? Sitting behind you. You can see how many rows are behind you. You can see what the back of the room looks like. But can you see who is behind you now? Can you see what is behind you? Can you see the stage? You only have a memory of it. So all you have is a memory of what was back here. Turn back around. You can't look east and west at the same time. You can't look north and south at the same time. You have to pick a direction that you're going to look at. What is behind you, the only way you can see what is behind you is if you turn around and look at it. That's it. The only way you can see what is in your past is if you're looking at it. So you can't see north and south, east and west at the same time. We're going to call it east and west today because west is behind you. You can't see west when you're looking east. It's an impossibility. So sit down. People ask, how in the world did you go from homeless to in that next moment making that $2,000 in 4 days? How did you do that? I stopped looking behind me. I stopped looking at what my stepfather did. I stopped looking at what my dad did. I stopped looking at what my husband did. I stopped looking at my $35,000 debt. I stopped looking at my $2.03. I stopped looking at the pain of the millionaire embezzling my business. I stopped looking at all the friends that had betrayed me. I stopped looking at how I grew up feeling like I should just kill myself. I stopped looking at all of the beatings. I stopped looking at the tragedy, my mom breaking her neck right in front of me. I stopped looking at what was behind me. And I started looking at what was ahead of me. Yes. Now, many of you, and I hear this, but Dani, what do I do? I hate myself. I have this problem from my past. I have these issues, how I feel. You're looking backwards. Yeah. Because all of those thoughts come from where? Behind you. I feel like a failure. I don't have any confidence. What is that from? That's from the past. That's messaging from the past. So if you're looking at the past, you're listening to the past, what will you repeat? The past. You're going to go back to the past. So how do you defeat the past? Is doing what? Looking in the opposite direction. Amen. Look in the opposite direction. What is ahead of you? And this is why I've been pounding your butt with vision all day. All yesterday, all the day before. It's because a man without a vision will perish. Why? Because he's looking backwards. He's looking backwards. So when you look forward, look, many people don't have a forward that they're looking at. There isn't a forward. So this is why I've been challenging you in this. Okay, where do you want to be a year from now? Where do you want to be 2 years from now? Where will you be 5 years from now? Where will you be 10 years from now? 20 years from now? 30 years from now? 40 years from now? Where will you be? Who gets to determine it? You. You determined where you came from and how you responded. Everyone was born with advantages and disadvantages. Everybody in this place, every single one of us. What determines 2% of the population is what we do with the advantages and the disadvantages. And where we're looking. So the next time, okay, fear. Where is fear coming from? The past. Fear comes from past experiences. Decisions that were made in the past. That's where fear comes from. Where does anxiety come from? The past. It comes from experiences and decisions that were made from things that happened in the past. Where does depression come from? The past. It comes from the past. Where does the self-hate in treating your body badly come from? The past. Where does the financial fear come from? The past. Where does the bad marriage come from? Comes from the past. All of it comes from the past. You have to stop looking at the past. You have to stop living in the past. You have to stop resurrecting the past. A college student does not go back to the 8th grade. A college student does not go back to the 10th grade. Stop going backwards. This is why you have got to chart it out. Now, come on, you do this all the time. Okay, how many of you have a GPS, have ever used GPS in your car or with your phone or whatever, right? For example, how many of you had to use it to get here to this hotel? Not an easy place to find, right? I don't know. And the Sapphires are getting sidetracked at SeaWorld. Hey, SeaWorld! We gotta go. We gotta see Shamu. He's not there anymore. Anyway, but you use the GPS to get here, and isn't it interesting that you trust the GPS? You type in your destination. You type in the destination. Oh, hello. Who typed in the destination? You typed in the destination. Amen. Some of them are going to catch this, and this is exactly what I prayed for. Okay? So you typed in the destination. You also typed in where you are starting from. Yes, right. And the GPS today picks up where you're starting. Current location. Yes. This is where I'm going. And you trust when you hit start. You hit start and you just trust that the GPS is going to take you exactly where you're supposed to go. Now, before all of us had a GPS, okay, like 20 million years ago, do you remember that if you were calling some business or you're going for a job interview somewhere, you asked the receptionist for the what? Directions. You did what? Wrote them down on a piece of paper. Turn right on Huebner. Turn left on Hillsborough. Turn right on, left on. You will see a corner store. Turn right there. That's First Street. Bam. 2525 First Street. And what did we do? We followed directions. We trusted the directions. we followed the directions, and we got to the chosen who chose the destination. You chose the destination. You trust your GPS more than you trust your God. You trust the directions given by a perfect stranger that you do not know, and you follow the freaking directions by a perfect stranger that you do not know more than you follow the directions of someone who's trying to teach you how to create wealth, have an amazing family, have an incredible life, traveling around the world, taking care of the poor. You trust a perfect stranger who has nothing and a computerized phone giving you directions on how to get to the freaking nearest pizzeria more than you trust your God.
That's right. Wow. Wow.
And each time you chose the destination. You want to ask questions about the path. You overanalyze the path. You don't think the path is going to work for you. You wonder whether or not you'll be able to do it right. You wonder whether or not it's the right location, the right destination. What if I pick the wrong destination? You don't do that with your GPS. Success is so simple. And it has everything to do with where you're looking. What you focus on is what you get good at. What you focus on is what you receive. Trust is important. Faith is important. Without it, you will not succeed. So you pick the destination just like you picked the destination of where you wanted to go for a job interview, just like you picked the destination of where you want to eat. It's the same exact process. It's exactly the same. So you pick the destination of what you want for the vision for the body, for the health. I don't care what the impossibility is. I wish I had a picture of this guy. I still wish I had a picture of this guy. My husband went to a conference recently. It was a marketing conference, 1,000 people in the room, and like 25 different speakers. My husband comes home, tears in his eyes, talking to me about one of these speakers. The man cannot walk. He was born with a disease that crushes his bones. His legs are about this long. His arms are about this long. His body is about this big. And he was a main speaker on the stage, arrives in a wheelchair, motivating the entire room, and shows pictures and videos of himself lifting weights. Yeah. Wow. He's buffed. Yeah. He's buffed. He's ripped. Yet his body is twisted. His torso is completely twisted. His arms are deformed, but he's ripped. And he lifts weights every day. He had a dream of being able to throw the first pitch in a professional baseball game. The dream came true. As a little kid, he's practicing with that. He has to lay on the ground and he holds the ball over, holds the ball over, holds the ball over. Yeah, eventually it happened. He got to, in a professional game, throw the first pitch. That's vision, that's a destination. That's all a vision is a destination. Wow. That's all a goal is a destination. That's all it is. I recently saw a video of a guy with cerebral palsy, and I'm talking about severe cerebral palsy, and he had a dream to be in a bodybuilding contest. He is super, super skinny. He finds himself a trainer. He shakes like crazy trying to lift weights. He made it to a bodybuilding competition. So I don't care what your deformity is. I don't care what the impossibility is that you think that you cannot do for your finances. I don't care how wrecked and nasty the marriage is, the husband or the wife is, or the kid is. Nothing is impossible. Absolutely nothing is impossible. The issue is, will you stop looking behind you? And will you start looking at what the destination is? Will you start looking to where you're going instead of where you have been? Because fear, doubt, depression, unbelief, your past eating disorders are in the past. Yes. They are not in the future. Your debt is from where?
Past. Wow.
Your debt is from the past. Where's your bad health problems from?
Past. No more.
Your hurts are from where?
Past.
Stop looking behind you. Stand to your feet again. Come on, give me an excuse. Come on, give me one of your excuses. Too hard. About face. About face. Where does too hard come from? Back there. What's another excuse? I can't remember stuff. Where does that come from? Behind you. Where does being on welfare come from? The past. Past decisions, past experiences, past actions. What's your next excuse? I can't do it right. Where in the world does I can't do it right come from? Past. That's perfect. I'm gonna get hurt again. Where's that come from? The past. Go ahead, just keep talking to the past. Didn't work last time. Back track record. Not enough time. You're too stupid is back there. I should know better is in the past. Come on, just keep shooting them out. About face. Amen. So I want you to tell me what's over there. Come on. What's over here? Say it. I want to hear. Where are we going? Keep going. I can't hear you. What does it look like? Tell me where we're going. What am I going to see you do? Come on. That's not enough. That's enough to keep us busy for like 2 years. Come on. Now turn around. Amen. What's back there? Back there is the toxic marriage. Back there is whining about the marriage. Back there is complaining about my sciatic nerve. Back there is complaining about how I never have enough money. Back there is how my boss doesn't like me. Back there is where my business doesn't work for me. Turn around. Yes. But up here, over here, is the new marriage to the same person. Why? Because you are not going to treat that person as though they were. Turn around. Back there. Turn around. You are not going to treat your spouse as though they were back there. You're not going to talk about your spouse as though they were back there. You're not going to expect your spouse to be what they were back there. You are not going to treat yourself as you were back there. You're not going to talk to yourself like you were back there. You're not going to talk to your kids as though they were back there. You're not going to talk about your future as though it's repeating the past. You're not going to talk about your finances as though your finances were back there. Turn around. You're going to talk to your finances, yourself, your spouse, your kids, your boss, your career, your business, your clients, your everything as though it is where you're going. Because that's where you're headed. Will there be detours? Yes. But will you get to your destination? Yes. Sit down. I want you to write to me right now where you're going. Where are you going? What is that destination for yourself? How you think of yourself, how you treat yourself, how you love yourself, as though nothing was impossible. As though nothing was impossible. Do you hear me? As though nothing was impossible, as though you were going to reach that destination. What is that destination? How would you talk about the spouse? How would you treat the spouse? How would you talk about the kids? How will you treat the kids? How will you talk about the boss, the coworkers, your distributors, your sales force? How will you talk about your future? How will you talk to your finances? Where are you going? You're the only one that determines where that is. You're it. You're in control. You're in the driver's seat.